Hey guys, in this video, we'll be taking a look at VFC's replica of the KAC L403A1, which is built on a new AR EVO system. Let's see what improvements they have made. Weighing in at 5 pounds and 5 ounces, the upper and lower are made of an aluminum alloy. The aluminum KAC URX6 M-LOK handguard is 12.8 inches. Improving from previous models, this handguard's mounting system is the same as the real steel. The gas impingement system is replicated well. The B5 stock has a rubber butt pad, and there are 5 positions of length adjustments. They have also replicated the drain holes in the buffer tube. The KAC iron sights are built well, though I wouldn't use them for airsoft. The controls are replicated well. And look at that beautiful bolt carrier though. I can't emphasize how nice it looks. VFC definitely takes the cake for the most realistic looking bolt carrier. There are QD sling points on the end plate and stock. You have probably noticed by now, but it looks like VFC has finally gone away from the grainy finish. The new finish looks great. It's flat and looks authentic to the real thing. Let's see how well the finish stands up against a flat head. The paint finish is much better now. I needed to use a lot more force to expose the bare metal, so it's definitely stronger than the previous finish. Here's me going at it again. It's easy to tell that the paint is a lot thicker too. I can't say how happy I am with this improvement. Hopefully every replica down the line will have this stronger flat finish. This does make me feel a lot better after paying the insane tariffs. This replica is fully licensed by Knight's Armament, with correct and deep markings that looks really nice. The outer barrel is 13.7 inches long, and the dimples are replicated beautifully. It comes with a steel KAC 3-prong flash hider, and there are 14mm negative threadings for any muzzle devices. Overall, I gotta say the externals are incredible. The flat finish is something that VFC should have gone with from the start, and this just makes VFC's top-notch externals even better now. Let's take a look at the new internals. To disassemble for repairs and maintenance, push out these 2 receiver pins. Then take out the bolt and charging handle. Internally, the fire control group is made entirely of steel. The bolt carrier is also made of steel, and it has a noticeably smooth finish. Mine came with an end pass as well. After over 4,000 rounds in the span of a week, there isn't any weird wear. Let's quickly talk about the new improvements they made with the version EVO. Fire control group wise, it's the same as previous VFC V3 ARs. The buffer is still the same as previous V3s. It will still accept real steel buffers and will work fine with them. They did start putting the hole in the pistol grip alongside with a longer selector detent spring. It's slightly longer than a real steel spring though. The bolt carrier, however, is basically completely revised. First off, the finish is a lot smoother than the previous design, making the action a lot smoother. Secondly, it has actual gas relief holes, which are said to reduce wear and regulate gas output. They do actually vent gas, which you will see later on. They've also gone with the MCX nozzles, since it's a better design than past nozzles. The back of the bolt also has threads, so I think VFC will make extra weights that you can add. Finally, the disassembly process is improved, with the cam pin being an actual disassembling part. The hop-up is also revised with a TDC style design, using chamber adjustment. Since there are a lot less moving parts, this should be an improvement. Furthermore, the disassembly process has been greatly simplified, with you no longer needing to remove the handguard, gas system, and outer barrel to get to the hop-up, which you will see soon. To adjust the hop-up, use the included 2mm hex wrench here in the chamber. VFC is making a quick adjustment tool, which is coming out later on, so I don't have it unfortunately. To get into the hop-up, remove these 2 hex screws here. Now, use something to lightly punch the inner barrel from the front to help the hop-up slide out through the back. Punch out this pin, which will allow you to yank the hop-up base off. Removing these 2 screws will open up the hop-up shell, giving you access to all the guts. On both sides of the shell are these tiny screws with springs, which makes the clicky sound when adjusting. It's easy to lose them, so keep an eye on them. The bucking is pressed by this rubber part, which is adjusted by this hex screw turning. The inner barrel is 330mm long, and the bucking is standard VFC black. This replica is still compatible with standard GBB spec buckings and inner barrels. To get into the nozzle, first remove the E-clip in the back. I recommend using something flat and prying it out. Now extend the nozzle slightly and turn it towards the cutout, which will expose the cam pin for you to take out. Now hammer out these 2 pins. The rear pin holds the nozzle return spring, while the front holds the end pass and the spring. I know what you're wondering. Is the new bolt compatible with previous generation VFC ARs? Yes, it is. Obviously, the new hop-up design would not slide into previous generation ARs. What about receiver compatibility? You can still expect real steel pistol grips, stock, and charging handle to fit easily. The buffer tube is 29.40mm wide, so just in between mil-spec and commercial. Although for whatever reason, my mil-spec CTR will still wobble slightly. But to fix this, just add some tape or velcro to shim it. Superloop PTFE should be used for smoother operation and lessen wear. This replica comes with a Vmag in the new FDE color. It weighs 358 grams empty and holds 30 BBs. It can be loaded with any normal speed loader. The dry firing switch can be activated by holding the bolt stop lever down and pushing the switch back. VFC has designated this mag to be the V4, which are magazines with the improved mag catch surface. The magazine release is ambidextrous. It works with no problems. The charging handle is also ambi. The bolt travel is pretty smooth. The bolt releases are on both sides. I found the bolt lock to be extremely reliable. Just like the rest of the controls, the selector is on both sides. It's stiff and clicks into positions well. The trigger is really nice. It's a double stage, with a clean pull up to a solid wall. The reset is clear and distinct. The dust cover works as intended, and the forward exist is still mock. At 80 Fahrenheit with 20 grams of gas in the magazine, the replica was able to fire off 146 shots before failing to lock back. This replica uses around 4 to 6 grams of gas for every 30 rounds. VFC's magazines can hold up to around 20 grams of gas, but to prevent siphoning, I would only recommend filling up to around 15 grams of gas. This amount will give you around 100 to 115 shots per fill. If you have been a VFC user for long, you would know that their V3 ARs actually uses around 3 to 4 grams of gas for every 30 rounds. So I do think that the gas relief holes are releasing some extra gas. Whether this helps with relieving some extra stress on the parts or not is up for debate, but logically I think it should. For me, the trade-off is worth it, since you typically top off your gas after 1 to 2 mags anyways. Let me know what you think in the comments though. So the gas relief holes do actually work to vent excess gas, but it's only visible when you overfill the magazine, causing major siphoning. Otherwise, it's really hard to get it on camera, but I found a way. Looks like I didn't load 30 BBs into this mag since it's so tight. Let's do another one for good measure. At 40 Fahrenheit, the replica slows down noticeably, but it will still function just fine. Now if you're not happy with the cold temperature performance, you can always undo the hammer screw, or change the hammer spring to a winter one. The recoil is actually better than V3 ARs. It's a lot more snappy, and the fire rate is more consistent. Here are some comparisons for reference. So now that we have arrived at what everyone's wondering about, did the new EVO hop-up system address what is arguably VFC's #1 weakness? This was done right out of the box, so I haven't opened up the hop-up nor cleaned the inner barrel. I was using .32s at 100 feet out, and here are the groupings. They are pretty tight and consistent. The adjustments stayed true and did not wander off. I bet it could be even better if I was a better shooter. The hop-up definitely has more strength to hop heavier BBs. Let's put this up against my VFC HK416 V3, which is using the guide hop system. Now I might just be extremely lucky, but the guide hop system has always worked well for me. But from this, you can tell that the EVO hop-up does have more consistent and tighter groupings. Let's see how it performs with .3s. How about .28s? After looking at all these groupings, I can say that the EVO hop-up system does have more consistency and tighter groupings than the previous guide hop system. With .2s, my replica is averaging at 360.5 FPS, which is 1.2 joules. I'd recommend wearing hearing protection while using this replica. It's really loud. Let's start with the pros. They replicated the KAC KS-1 extremely well with good quality externals. The paint finish is now flat and stronger. The internals are made of steel. They revised the bolt carrier design with easy disassembly and gas relief holes. The hop-up system is redesigned with easy disassembly and less moving parts. It uses good magazines. The controls feels amazing. Good gas efficiency. The groupings are consistent and tight. The recoil impulse is really nice. And is compatible with many real steel parts. Now the cons. The gas relief holes actually affects efficiency. Less compatibility with older aftermarket complete hop-ups. For US folks like me, you will have to import it. To sum up, the VFC AR's latest EVO generation is a fantastic platform improvement. I think the gas relief holes are really cool, and the new hop-up design addresses the frequent accuracy problems that folks may have had with previous generations. Both designs have also had their disassembly process simplified, which makes maintenance and upgrades easy to do. Other than the new improvements, this generation carried on with VFC's amazing externals, great feeling controls, and awesome performance. Dare I say that's pretty much perfect. I gotta say, although I'm certainly a VFC fanboy, the amount of innovation that VFC goes for is admirable, and many companies should follow in their footsteps. I am very excited for what VFC will make in the future. But damn, the tariffs were awful. I paid $712 for the replica and needed to pay $155 for the tariffs. Man, my reviews this year are gonna cost me. Anyways, if you found this video helpful, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions below, and consider subscribing if you like my content. Thanks for watching.